This week in Space Startup News, we cover the explosion of RFA's rocket at SaxaVord Spaceport. Next, we cover a company with a plan to mine lunar ice for profit. Our third segment covers AstroForge, an asteroid mining company, receiving funding to build its third satellite. And finally, Orbex, the UK smallsat launch provider, gives an update on future plans. Okay, let's begin. RFA-1 rocket test ends in Anomaly at SaxaVord Spaceport. During a static fire test of the first stage of the RFA-1 rocket, an anomaly occurred which led to the destruction of the rocket stage. On the evening of 19th of August 2024, Rocket Factory Augsburg, or RFA for short, was conducting a hot fire test, which is a routine procedure where the rocket engines are fired while the rocket remains anchored to the ground. However, the test resulted in an unexpected explosion, leading to what RFA describes as the loss of the vehicle. Fortunately, all safety protocols were followed. The site was evacuated before the test, and no one was injured in the incident. While the vehicle was destroyed, the launch pad appears not to have suffered much damage. Despite the setback, there's optimism that RFA will recover, given that the damage was not as severe as the visual spectacle of the explosion might suggest. The launch pad itself did not suffer much damage. The launch stool, which is near the engines, was damaged and will need to be replaced, but the rest of the launch pad is fine. RFA stated that the water and carbon dioxide suppression system wasn't powerful enough to stop the fire, so maybe it will need to be scaled up for future tests and launches. SaxaVord and UK Civil Aviation Authority will be conducting an investigation. A 6-minute video from RFA explains that the most likely cause of the explosion was an oxygen fire in one of the turbopumps. This destroyed the engine and damaged other engines, leading to fuel leaks that set the whole first stage on fire. RFA was already working on the next first stage, and this has hundreds of design improvements. The second and third stage were not affected and are stored at SaxaVord Spaceport already. RFA expects to be back to testing their launch vehicle soon. We'll continue to provide updates on the recovery efforts and future tests at SaxaVord Spaceport. Starpath secures $12 million to fuel space travel with lunar oxygen. Starpath just clinched $12 million in seed funding, spearheaded by 8VC and Fusion Fund, to kickstart their lunar ambitions. What's their plan? In a nutshell, extract lunar oxygen from mining ice on the moon and sell it to companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin. Yes, they want to be in the lunar resource extraction business. First, they will build a comprehensive demonstration of their lunar mining system right here on Earth by year's end. This setup includes a collaboration with Solar Steel to erect a solar power tower, essential for powering a fleet of rovers. These rovers are tasked with the hefty job of gathering lunar regolith across a 20-kilometer radius, which will then be processed to extract water, split into hydrogen and oxygen, with the oxygen being liquefied for storage. Did you know that a single Starship vehicle travelling to the moon will consume between 100 to 300 tons of oxygen? A Blue Origin lunar lander will consume tens of tons per flight. Starpath aims to produce propellants on the moon at commercial scale. They are aiming for an annual production of 1,000 tons of liquid oxygen per year. Refueling operations on the moon promise to slash the costs of lunar missions, making them more frequent and economically viable. This helps ramp up commercial activities on the lunar surface, paving the way for extensive commercial exploitation of lunar resources and helping scientific missions to the moon. Starpath has set an ambitious target to generate over 2.7 tons of oxygen daily, which would be enough to refuel 10 starships annually, transforming the economics of space travel. Looking towards the stars, Starpath aims to launch their technology aboard a starship by 2026, targeting the moon's south pole to produce over 100 tons of liquid oxygen from lunar ice. However, they're still earthbound with their launch plans, as they need to prove their technology works on our home turf first. This venture into lunar ice mining is uncharted territory. No mission has ever harvested and processed lunar ice into oxygen before. So, what's your take? Could lunar ice mining turn into a lucrative industry? Drop your thoughts in the comments or hit like if you're keen on more space tech updates like this. Okay, our third news segment is space mining startup AstroForge aims to launch historic asteroid-landing mission in 2025. AstroForge is a California-based asteroid mining startup and has announced plans to make history with its third mission in 2025, hitching a ride on Intuitive Machines' IM-3 lunar mission. This mission will deploy the 200 kilo, that's 440 pounds, Vestry probe to dock with a metallic near-Earth asteroid, making the first private mission to land on a celestial body beyond the Earth-Moon system. This ambitious step comes with a fresh injection of $40 million from investors, boosting AstroForge's total funding to $55 million. Founded in early 2022, AstroForge aims to tap into asteroid resources, focusing on metals to provide a sustainable mining solution that could protect Earth's resources. AstroForge's journey includes a previous mission, Brockhaw 1, launched in April 2023 on a SpaceX Falcon 9, which aimed, but failed, to demonstrate in-space refining technology. Their upcoming second mission, Odin, now using the spacecraft originally intended for Vestry due to earlier testing failures, is set to launch later this year. Odin will scout the asteroid for Vestry's landing. AstroForge is setting its sights on extracting valuable metals from asteroids, unlike Starpath, which is focusing on water extraction. It's thrilling to see renewed interest in asteroid mining. Do you think asteroid mining might turn profitable this time around, or is it still premature? Okay, on to our fourth and final news segment. Orbex working towards a launch in 2025. Orbex is a UK-based company and is targeting 2025 for the launch of its Prime rocket, focusing on the small satellite market despite trends towards larger launch vehicles. CEO Phil Chambers announced at the Farnborough Air Show that the Sutherland Spaceport in Scotland should be operational by early 2025. Currently, Orbex can produce 3 to 4 rockets annually by hand, but aims to increase this to 24 per year with a new factory, for which they will need about 18 months for planning approval. They're seeking at least $50 million in funding amidst a challenging investment climate in Europe. The Prime rocket, with a capacity of 180 kilos to low Earth orbit, targets niche orbits not commonly served by competitors like SpaceX. While the demand for smallsat launches has decreased, Chambers remains optimistic about the market's potential. Orbex views other European startups as its main competitors, rather than larger players like Rocket Lab. Looking forward, Orbex plans a Block 2 Prime for better performance and eventually a larger rocket for the European Launcher Challenge. What do you think? Can Orbex survive by only developing and operating a small sat launcher? Okay, that's it for this week. Be sure to subscribe to get the latest news on commercial space startups around the globe, from rocket launchers to space stations, orbital tugs, lunar landers and more. If it's a commercial space startup, we cover it. See you soon.